starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about two. Let my 2 and 3 come back. Anybody can. Anybody collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next season.
I hope you enjoyed how we dished it out hot water this dishing of the game between West Ham and Arsenal. Wow, it was a derby, a London derby. So you don't want to miss it. If you missed it, just go back to after this match, just go back to the previous match, the previous match we just had live. And just go and view, go and see what we spoke about earlier. It's a wonderful show to see. You know, we are back again. We are here talking about the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's a game that Manchester United need to win. You know, it feels so good when you and a team are dragging a position on the table and the other team you are dragging with dropped 3 points and 3 goals. So all you just need to do is just win your game today and you are topping them by 3 points. And that would be the mission of Manchester United Football Club today. Wow, wow, wow. It's going to be a spectacular show. You know, it's going to be an awesome one. I'm not alone in the studio, but later on, my guest in the studio will come up. So it's going to be a wonderful show today. You know, you enjoyed West Ham against Arsenal. But this one, I can promise you, will be on another level. Because energy is another, you know, when one energy is on ground, another full, you know, charge full, you know, charge everything full. It's in the studio and it's going to be energy with another energy. Oh my goodness. You are in for a wonderful show ahead. It's the 10th minute of the game. Unlike the game of West Ham United Arsenal that we already saw 2 goals as early as the 10th minute. It's the 10th minute in the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. And it's still new. Wow. You know, Steve Cooper, the coach of Nottingham Forest, has been under intense pressure lately. You know, they signed more than a full squad. I think they signed 28 to 30 players this season alone. And that has not really interpreted much into where they have been on the table, because Nottingham Forest is currently in the relegation zone with 18 points. But a draw or a win today will take them off the 18th spot that they currently occupy. Because Everton yesterday lost successfully to Fulham Football Club, losing at home 3-1. Oh, what a sorry case. They defeated Arsenal, but it was just as if, I think it's now beginning to show that that's just a new manager bounce. A new manager bounce. Wow. The season is really beginning to take shape. In a way that many of us wouldn't have been able to predict. Who would have thought that in Syria, Napoli will be topping the table with 14 points? Who would have thought that Barcelona, with the struggles they've been going through, they've been mortgaging part of their, Yoruba we call it dukia, their property, to try to stay afloat financially? Who would have thought after those kind of situations in the club, they can still come back and be topping Real Madrid? Oh my goodness. If they win today, they will be topping Real Madrid with 13 points. Oh my, even if they lose, it will still be as high as 10 points football truly is like biscuit. You don't know where it will crack. And, we have seen where it cracked, West Ham against Arsenal. But we are yet to see where it will crack in the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. Oh my goodness. Manchester United just lost 2 of their main centre-back to injury in the game against Sevilla. Football league season is marathon of football. And you have a lot of matches. A lot of matches. So when you begin to play week in, week out, you tend to, fatigue with certain injury worries with certain, and all those things, when it starts setting in, if you don't have strength in depth for your squad, it will tell. Because Manchester United now has played Carling Cup to the final game. They are still in the FA Cup. They are in the run for the top 4 race in the Premier League. And they are also in the Europa League Thursday night football. And Thursday night football can be more demanding than Tuesday, Wednesday Champions League. So it's been a stretch, a fatigue-filled time for Manchester United so far. So who would have thought that by this time Manchester United will still be in all 4 competitions? They've won 1 already, remaining 3. But so far, they've been doing well. They've been doing very well. I think they can't win Premier League, but they are a strong candidate for top 4. They are a strong candidate for top 4 this season. So let's see how it will go. Because in football, as it is sweet some, it dey pain some. And as it dey pain some, it dey sweet some. All we just pray is that most of the time, it should be sweetening us. Because defeat is not a sweet tablet to take. But sometimes, you just have to take it as they come. Because football will not always be on your side all the time. If you are a football fan, and you always get angry whenever they banter you, you get furious whenever people talk to you. You get extremely furious when people just talk about your club if they are not doing well. You should check yourself, because football, we are here to enjoy the game. We are here to, make sense of what is going on. It's a live show, and we are here to keep you company. Either you are taking your asun, pepper soup, or maybe you are taking the heavy ones, maybe swallow, pounded jam, or other side of the world where you eat rice, or whatever kind of food, even if it is burger, or whatever you are taking with the football to step it down, it's all good. It's a game that we all love to watch. After a stressful week, you just sit back, relax, while we entertain you here at Premier Sports Fan Center. We give it to you, woto woto. We give it to you, woto woto. We enjoy the game. And I'm not alone on the show today. I'm here with, him, he's a regular on the show. And he is an encyclopedia of sport. He knows the game, he understands the game. And he is a Barcelona fan to the core. He's a Barcelona faithful. He's one man that is different when you support a club, but you don't know much about them. But he's someone that he knows a lot about Barcelona. He can talk about Barcelona from morning to night. The same way he can talk about Barcelona, he can talk about other things in football. I'm here with no other than Dr. Adeyeka. Good evening, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Sir, so far so good. 17th minute of the game. Nottingham Forest, Manchester United. With all the happenings, a lot of things that have happened lately for Manchester United between Thursday and today. do you think it has changed the direction of Manchester United season?
Well, once again, good evening, viewers. Good to be here with you again. Let's talk football. What we have here, as much as it will affect United, it's not going to destroy their fabric so much. Because I think apart from the 4 major injuries they encountered, they still have majority of their players on the field. You'll have their wing backs both in place. The center back, just one of them is out, and Varane is also down.
Yes.
But they're able.
Oh, that was a good opportunity. Oh my goodness, Bruno Fernandes. That was a good save.
That should have been
from
a goal.
Carlo Navas.
Now, you see, chances like this should be taken.
Yes.
Because when you miss chances like this, you suffer what Arsenal just did.
Yes, yes.
You had a chance, a penalty at goal.
You missed it.
And you missed it, and then you end up losing 2 points, which might be vital to them picking up the title.
Funny enough,
not today.
They just lost 2 points last week. The same Lakadesica.
Well, you see, the challenge in football is you get your chances, you take it.
Yes.
And it's not about wishes and hope. Arsenal had been wished to win the title for so long.
Yes.
And as much as we're not talking about them in Premiership, they are still the league leaders right now.
Yes, yes.
So they have done so much. They have come second a couple of times, come third a couple of times.
Yes.
But to clinch the title does not, it requires much more than coming second. You need to win the league to win the league.
Yes.
You don't just try and get second and third and you say, oh, nice attempt. Nice attempts don't win the league.
Yes, sir.
You have to win the league by the highest number of points.
Yes.
And if United does not take their chances properly today, they might slip out of the top 4. That is the challenge here.
Yes.
And they have players who can win the game for them, because Martial has proven that he's been a good sub for Rashford in the past few games. He comes back, he gets a goal, comes back, gets an assist. He's been doing that a couple of times. Sancho is also effective.
That's a foul
from the flanks. And if that foul is to be
that would be
reviewed,
a penalty against Manchester United.
If it's a penalty against United, then the chances are dimming.
This Maguire, the culprit.
Maguire again.
Maguire.
Somebody said the guy doesn't have anointing oil on his head. He lacks the oil.
Maybe Kenaland.
No. He should come to Ondo State.
Ondo State.
Take him to one high mountain there.
Yeah.
Let him spend 1 week there.
So that
possibly some new oil can drop on him. Because this guy lacks oil.
Wow. He escaped that.
He's always there when there's like trouble. But you see, that's possibly just granted. Possibly the referee is a fan of England and Maguire is the captain of England. Might just overlook it and say, let's move on. But he'll soon do it again. Possibly,
is that a prophecy?
Possibly toss it into the net this time.
Like he did on Thursday.
He does that so effectively.
Oh my God.
The Thursday goal was so beautiful. You would think it was an assist. It was just an assist to him, and he just beat the keeper.
Oh my goodness!
Just
that
beat
was
the keeper.
Fantastic
goal
from a defense.
From a wonderful Maguire. But Maguire, we know, is no longer. We don't refer to him as a central defender anymore. Maguire plays for 2 teams. It's bipolar now. He plays for both sides. He's attacking for you. He's defending against you and for you. There was an encounter I had with Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was about to score for Man U. If you remember that scene, he went in. He had a very clear chance with the header. And Maguire went for him. He didn't go for the ball. He went for Ronaldo in front of the opponent's 6-yard box. He was just too much. It was like attacking Ronaldo from scoring the goal.
Defending for the opponent.
I don't know. So you wonder what side he's playing for. I think it's bipolar anyway. But at any rate, they don't have a choice right now.
They need to.
Because Varane is down and Fernandes, I think, and this
Martinez.
guy, Martinez is out.
Martinez.
So
I think the news came out, I think, day before yesterday, that yesterday when Martinez is out of the season.
Yeah,
He ruptured a joint in his hamstring.
For the rest of the
For
season.
the rest of the season.
And Varane is out for 1 month.
And that guy has been very
So
huge
they'll have to cope with Lindelof, Maguire,
We can still talk about Lindelof, but
and the rest of them.
Maguire to acquire to require.
You see, the Maguire guy, one of our Senate plenary meetings of the Nigerian House of Assemblies, one guy used him as an example. He said there's a defender in England. They call him Maguire. This guy plays for your side, and then is also fighting your people from scoring against the opponent. So whichever part of the field he's defending for them. And when it is in own penalty area, he's scoring against his own side. You know, but you see, those are, on another note, defenders deflecting into the net is one of the devils of football. You can't remove that because they are going to be in that position. So the ball hits them, changes direction, and projectile into the net. And the keeper will have gone in the other direction. So usually, it happens. But that was a sweet finish since the days of Pablo Escobar. That was
very sweet.
Yes, Pablo Escobar's goal was claimed to be so beautiful, you know, in the 1990 World Cup. You remember? He scored a beautiful goal against Colombia that he was defending. It was one of the best goals of the tournament. He sent the keeper the other way, totally. It was a cross.
But looking at it,
and Maguire has scored better. He used even his own head to duck the keeper.
But the Maguire we see in the English national team is another Maguire entirely. What do you think is the problem with Maguire?
I think the English national team is, as we always say, overhyped. And I think they are not as good as they are portrayed. For so long, they have been low achievers. They actually never or barely ever live to expectation. In the last World Cup, it was said that it was coming home. The Euro Cup before that, it's coming home. Even up to like the semi-finals, and I think they played the final. But it wasn't coming home.
Oh, that was
a beautiful chance. It should have come home because you come and tell me, oh, it's penalty kick, it's 50-50.
Against them, Morocco. They even lost 3 out of 5.
And they've been taking 1,000 penalty shots. So it's another thing to try, but preparation actually is
because
makes it easier for you.
Penalty, from my own experience of football, is just instinct.
More or
Sometimes
less.
you pick a spot, you overheat it.
Yes.
The force is not enough. Sometimes the goalkeeper gets where you want to put the ball.
Wow. That was so close. That should have been a goal. I see Nottingham pulling an offset here today.
It's very possible. They defeated Liverpool here.
Yeah, I see them pulling an offset. It might not be a win, but they can get a draw. They can go away with a draw here. If United does not take their half chances.
But so far, United has not really created a lot of chances. And talking about the formation, Nottingham Forest played a 3-4-1-2 formation. And Manchester United played their normal, traditional 4-2-3-1. Wow, I can see Casemiro back into the fold. What was that?
In his traditional position.
Yes.
Yes, he's there. And he's supported by Ericsson.
Has he served this game well? Wow.
I think it wouldn't have been replaced if he hadn't lived this full
maybe
suspension.
they went for appeal and they granted them. It's possible. But looking at this formation, 3-4-1-2,
yes.
what do you think Steve Cooper has had in mind to
Now, if you look at
playing
this,
7 men behind the ball?
if you look at his, well, I wouldn't say 7 men really. He's playing a 3-man central.
Defense.
Yes, he's playing a 3 central defenders, and he's actually loading them with 2 other wing defenders who are positioned in the midfield. The whole idea is get the ball back as quickly as possible, and make sure they are not controlling the ball in our final half.
Yes,
You know,
final third.
yeah, they are now in our final third. They are not playing the ball in our final third. So he has 7 people in that region. He had 7 people, 7 players in that region to ensure that the United 5 are not playing in that region. They can play in their own side, you know, in the middle third or the last third, but they don't want to play the ball in the third of the Nottingham players.
Yes.
And that is very key because that's more of a defensive formation. However, he has Awoniyi and Johnson, who we know can take one-on-one chances pretty well. Awoniyi is pretty strong.
Yes.
He can charge our defenders. He can actually use his body a lot. And he has produced goals, you know. Has actually produced beautiful assists as well. And has created a number of upsets in the Premiership recently.
Yes.
So they're possibly counting on those ones to give them the needed counter-attack, while everybody else ensures United does not have a free day on their side. Because take it or leave it, United is still the favorite team
yes.
in this game.
If not for the injury worries and all, Manchester United would have been the outright favorite. But because of the injuries to the 2 key centre-back, which is
Varane
and Martinez. How big of a miss will those guys be in this match?
Well, they will be missed because Varane has an imposition in that defense and he's a very fast defender. Speed is on his side. Martinez, of course, coming recently from his World Cup victory.
Even before the World Cup, he has been performing.
Yeah, he's been performing, but you know, when you're coming with a World Cup title on your head, there's this Bugatti thing. It gives you this double pads on your shoulder, and everybody is looking at you like a World Cup winner, really. Because on the field, how many other people are World Cup winners? So you are like the big boy. So even the teammates respect you for that. So there's a level of confidence you have when you know you are above the shoulders of others. So that gives him a lot of advantage. Of course, also pressure. But Lindelof should be able to cover for Uncle Maguire. But Maguire, we know, will likely create some scenes, possibly, before the end of first half.
Is that a prophecy?
He has his antecedents have shown that he hardly goes without doing something in 45 minutes. It's either he's scoring on the other side or scoring on his own side or producing an assist on either side.
And Manchester United started the game with their 4-2-3-1 formation. With the guy in goal, Wan-Bissaka on the right.
Beautiful
that
chance.
Was a good
Beautiful
attempt
chance.
from Danilo.
Beautiful chance.
Oh my
Beautiful chance.
Danilo.
Oh, beautiful,
Wow,
beautiful, beautiful shot. Although the hair had it covered.
They
had it covered.
The accuracy was not...
Oh, no, he could have gone in. That could have gone in. That could have been against United. And I'm sure my daughter is not happy about that comment.
Okay, she's a Manchester United.
Yeah, she's a Man U fan, and she has warned me not to speak against United today at the studio. She said she'll be watching, and she's going to pass comments. She actually has been sending comments to the Premier Sports Fan Show. So I'm expecting to see her comment.
I think Manchester United fans need a hug right now.
Ah, well, the hug is, let's reserve the hugs, all the hugs for we know who. No, please. Let's reserve the hugs for we know who need the hug.
Okay.
The Blues need the hug. So all the hugs you have,
you know,
give it to the Chelsea fans.
We have been hugging the Chelsea fans since the beginning of the season.
Ah, no.
In fact,
but recently they required more hugs.
If hugs were money,
we'll be so rich, right?
we'll be so... Oh, that's a good... Oh!
United gets one.
Manchester United just
United
took the
gets
lead.
one. The United gets
A
one.
goal scored by
Anthony. Anthony gets it.
Anthony, the Brazilian.
It was more of a scramble, but he does.
One of the Samba boys.
Yes, he did get it.
The shot from Martial. The keeper saved it, and Anthony was there on the rebound.
Yes.
Wow,
That's a good one.
Let's see the line. He said the pass to Martial. Oh, that was a defensive error. Casemiro gave him back once. A straight shot, Anthony on the rebound. Yes. And Manchester United are leading the game by a goal to nil. The goal scored by Anthony.
And just at the half-hour mark.
Just on the half. Wow. Isn't football filled with suspense?
Oh, yes,
because
yes.
this game, if we are going to look at who will score first, we would have been thinking in the side of Nottingham Forest with the way they've started the game.
Oh, no, I wouldn't give the first goal to Nottingham Forest. If they had scored it, fine, but United
not
should be more
the
clinical.
Prediction side of view, but from what we have seen so far.
Okay.
It's in the beginning
from
of the
the
game.
Attempts. If you
from
look
the
at the
attempts,
attempts,
yes.
Okay.
Because Nottingham Forest has been on the attack, which explains, I think that's why they are a goal down, because it's just a defensive error, miscommunication that led to the goal.
Absolutely.
But this is good for Manchester United. After the painful heartbreak, that's an offside on Jadon Sancho. So looking at Rashford injury,
yes,
how big of a miss do you think it will be for Manchester United? Considering that it's their highest goal scorer,
Rashford is definitely a big miss for United. This season, he has virtually carried the team. He has worked closely and with a good understanding with Fernandes and Bruno. And they have actually, Vegas too. They have actually given United that leap. Last season it was Cristiano Ronaldo all over the place, trying to be the man. And these young guys have been trying to bring their head off the water, but Ronaldo was overshadowing them. And with him leaving, they have won a lot more matches than they did with him. And they have, not only have they come back from, behind several times, they have taken leads from behind. They have got 3 points from several positions after one down or two. And they have also shown that they can start and finish with a lead. With Rashford, he has been a good threat to the other team. Because Rashford, we know, has a good presence in the penalty area. Yes. He can take shots from outside the yard. He can nod. He scores. He has effectiveness with his area balls as well. And he can produce great assists. So Rashford has actually stepped up a lot. Of course, he'll be so missed because I don't see Martial filling that gap. Martial might come back and do some stuff, but Rashford, for me, has about 3-4 points ahead of Martial.
Considering he has been playing, Martial is just coming back from injury. And playing form matters in football.
Oh, yes. It's a playtime and form until the injury. Sometimes you need to understand that these players, because they have to play week in, week out. Yes. They play during the week. They play over the weekend. Christmas time, they are playing. New Year Day, they are playing. Yes. And they have a lot of matches. They played in Europa League. They are still in Europa. They played in Europa, they played in Carabao Cup. So many matches in a particular month. They could play like 12 matches in a month. And that's a lot when you consider the amount of energy expended in every team, every game. Yeah, I know the coach tries to pull Rashford out before the end of the game. But when they are not winning, how can you pull out your striker if you are not in charge of the game? So it's an unavoidable situation that.
I just think that's why one of the things that is very important is when you have a team, spread your goals among them. Absolutely. Not like one man carrying the team. It can be very risky.
Yes, however risky it may be, you have to put out your best foot. Because football is like every game in life. In war, you put out your best foot. Always put out your best foot, even in war. You can afford to keep your best legs and protect them when you don't have the points in the bag.
Matches.
You need the points. Here, United has been chasing top 4.
Yes.
They are not in contention for top 2, but top 4 is a reality for them.
A reality.
They presently sit on number 4 or 3 now.
Yes.
Should this game end this way, they will remain 3. But if they lost or draw, they'll possibly fall back to 4.
If they draw this game, they will go to 3. Because they are currently the same point with Newcastle.
Yeah, but the Newcastle has more goal advantage.
Yeah, but if they draw, they will have 1 point.
Yes, okay, if they
That
draw,
will add to their...
now they will have 57
But the only
points.
error they can do is to lose.
If they lost this game, for example, they are going back to 4th position. And that's a threat to their finishing top 4. I think there are still 7 or 8 matches to play for them.
After this game, they were having, I think, 7 matches to go in the league.
So it's a win. It's a must-win for them. Just as I said before, Arsenal match versus West Ham, I said Arsenal must win this match. If they still want their hands on the trophy, they must get all the 3 points from that match against West Ham. And they started well, scored the first one, scored the second one, and we thought it was done and dusted for them. Like they're going to post home and just demolish the Hammers. Unfortunately, the third one, after the second goal, 2-1, with that penalty going in, it would have been 3-1. It might have been a good advantage.
Should have killed the morale of the game.
It might have, but it didn't happen. So they dropped 2 points, 2 vital points. And they're going to face City next week.
On the 26th.
They are going to fight for 3 points against City.
Yeah.
City still has an outstanding match.
And City is playing like a roaring lion, seeking whom to devour.
With an outstanding match.
Yes.
Should they win the outstanding, they get 3
1
points.
point.
Just 1 point in between them. And should City defeat Arsenal, 2 points separate them.
Yes.
Trust Guardiola. He's not going to leave that position if he gets in that position. That's what he did last season.
Yeah, you know, I was talking about what during the West Ham. Barcelona's game just finished and it ended 0-0. It seems those guys missing are beginning to take a toll on Barcelona.
It was a very lackluster game in the first half. I almost leapt off watching them play the first half. It was dull. There was no creativity in the Barca attack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lewandowski looks like he's not in the team. Lewandowski is worn out. He keeps complaining he had a back injury, he had a leg injury somewhere. He's just managing and taking painkillers to play.
But he's aging.
He's aging and he looks worn out. You know, I saw a header Balde put up for him. He was supposed to run into... Lewandowski will run into the header.
Yes.
Erling Haaland will have got that header into the net. But Lewandowski just watched the header fly over him and he didn't even make a move. And I was shocked. On 2 or 3 occasions, such misses. And I said, look, Barca is not getting anything out of this game. Without Pedri, without Dembele, with Sergio Roberto left the game early and they had to bring in Eric Garcia for Sergio Roberto. What do we expect Garcia to do?
The Jong missing too.
Garcia cannot produce much in the midfield. He can only defend.
I think the most creative midfielder Barca had this season was De Jong.
De Jong is the most creative midfielder. And then we have Pedri coming up the ranks. You know, both of them out. Dembele, creative from the flanks, out. And then you have all these walls too. You know, Ansu Fati is definitely not what he used to be.
Yeah, injuries played a key role in his
he dropped forms terribly.
He went for a long time.
Yes,
that's a long time to leave football. It's not that easy to just come back to them. And in the league 48 minutes of the game, Monaco is leading 2-0 to 0.
That's beautiful for Monaco.
Bundesliga, Union Berlin, 0-0. 0-0 at the 40th minute. And Juventus is currently the 10th minute of the game between Sassuolo and Juventus. It's still 0-0 in the 11th minute of the game. And the 41st minute of the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. 42nd now. Nottingham Forest, Manchester United. Is Manchester United leading a goal to nil. A goal scored by Anthony. Yeah. Wow. If you are to rate Ten Hag's performance, because there was this stat check that came out a few weeks ago, that at that point of the season, last season, Manchester United was the same point as that last season.
No, that's where
that's
a
few weeks ago, yes, where they were, the people were like, oh, crisis fifth season last season. There was a time people were thinking Manchester United was going to challenge for second. Now they are even battling to stay in top four. Because looking at the table,
yes.
Brighton has a very big opportunity. If you look at the table, Brighton has Brighton has a game in hand,
okay,
compared to that of Manchester United. Brighton has a game in hand, and they have 49 points, and if they win, they go to 52. Oh, if Manchester United can win this game, that will spell a clear advantage for them.
Yes.
But without winning this game, it can be risky. Because the top four is still open.
Absolutely. We hope United will get all the 3 points here to remain in contention. But Brighton is a threat. And Newcastle, I don't see them dropping out of that top four. They are going to fight for third or fourth. Although they had a loss yesterday, which was actually against bookmakers' expectation. We didn't expect the Baggies or Toffees to lose yesterday.
If you look at Aston Villa very well lately, since Kudibini arrived, their coach, the former Arsenal coach arrived, they've been getting results. In fact, after Manchester City and Arsenal, I think is the one that has the highest number of wins in the Premier League.
Oh no! That should have been a goal. Wow, that's a disappointing shot from Awoniyi. Very disappointing. That should have nailed. He should have actually have put it in. It was a beautiful pass from Lindelof, and he would have just.
Lindelof giving an.
Yes, it was a beautiful assist.
That was a smart move for him.
These defenders are wonderful. It was a good shot, but it was.
But who can blame them? Truly, Lindelof and Maguire will be much.
No, that was even Dalot.
Even Dalot himself, much rusty. Because it's been a while they really tasted the action.
I guess they are facing their own breakfast. They are enjoying their breakfast.
Like Bonner Boy said.
Everybody.
Last.
Everybody go chop hand. Everybody go chop hand. You must chop it at one point in time or the other.
But there are some teams that doesn't look like their breakfast is hot. It's always inside the fridge. Manchester City.
Now the way they play. Let's talk about Manchester City. Guardiola buys a lot of players.
Yes.
I don't know what he tells them, how he convinces them that they will stay on the bench.
And they sit on the bench.
And they are happy to sit on the bench, to come in and play. He rotates them pretty well, and the players somehow are still happy to deliver for Guardiola, year in, year out. Wow. He's been doing that. So he has a rich bench. He has a first team that is very strong, and a second team that is almost equally strong. Erling Haaland steps off the field.
And Alvarez comes in.
Can you imagine?
A World Cup winner.
Imagine Alvarez himself is a very dangerous striker.
Yes.
He plays just like his brother in Inter Milan.
Lautaro Martinez. Oh, that was a good opportunity for Bruno Fernandes. Wow. The cross came in from Luke Shaw. Oh, man, not enough bending on the header. Oh, that was a good chance. He tried to place the header, but it was too much. It was Keylor Navas would have had no
That was just a slight,
Oh, my
just
goodness.
take it about 2 inches to the right, and the goalpost might be supporting it.
And before we shifted, I was talking about the formation of Manchester United.
Yes.
And they have Eriksen and Casemiro in the central midfield role. And Sancho on the left, Antonio on the right, and Bruno Fernandes playing behind the striker.
You know, Bruno, we expect to do some assists. He's expected to deliver the final ball. But he can also take the shots. Oh, yeah, he's been doing that. But, you know, he works better with Rashford. Rashford understands his runs better. He understands Rashford's run better than Martial. And in the last few months, both of them are blended so well together. Now, the place of Rashford will be missing here because Martial is possibly not giving him such runs as Rashford will
you can't really blame Martial.
Well, but that's why he's a little handicapped here.
And the game is now half-time in the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United, with Manchester United leading a goal to nil. Oh, Monaco just made it 3.
That's beautiful.
Monaco just made it 3 against Lorient. 3 goals to nothing. Oh, my man.
That's good, that's good.
Oh,
you know, Monaco is a team that has, over the years, fallen down the ladder.
Yes.
They totally went down. I remember they started the depreciation when Thierry Henry was the coach. The team just started going down the ladder, and then further down, and players started leaving.
And then Henry likes it. He has become a pundit. Maybe he's beginning to see that this coach.
The coaching thing is not for him. I would have just suggested he stayed as a pundit and make his money from there.
But it seems he's one of the assistants too he works with Martinez, this former Belgium coach.
Yes, I think he's assisting one of them.
Oh, Union Berlin has a big chance in the Bundesliga. Union Berlin has a big chance. Oh, Union Berlin just made it 1-0 at the 45 plus 3 minutes of the game. Wow. And Feyenoord 3-0 up. Okay, Juventus still playing 0-0 at the 18th minute. Monaco still leading 3-0 at the 56th minute. Manchester United leading a goal to nil at halftime. There's still much more we are going to bring to you, viewers. It's going to be a very rich conversation, a conversation you don't want to miss. When we come back, we will give you the statistics of the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United so far. We are waiting the second half of the game. And so far, the first half has produced some fireworks, some moments that we can only but, enjoy and smile, because goals light up the game. Goals give you something to cheer. Sometimes it gives you things to talk about. So it's been a wonderful time. I hope you are enjoying the show as much as we are doing right here. It's going to be a wonderful second half. Way, way, way better than what you had in the first half. Because here at Premier Sports Fan Center, we are here to entertain you, to educate you on the beautiful game. And sometimes to make you smile. Because, as I used to say, a smile alone can change the mood of a day for you. So, just hold on. Stay with us. We will go for a short break. And we'll be back for the second half of the game. Don't worry, my guest is still here. And we are still going to be, dissecting the games. Even the ones that have happened, the one that is happening, and maybe talk about the one that will still happen. So, we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Egbenwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Egbenwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
There are two chances, just like you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball, and you could have scored. At least you could have given, even if you didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back. Whether they like.
Come back, viewers. We told you it's going to be a very short break. So because we don't want you to miss us too much. I don't want you to sleep on it. It's going to be a more entertaining and in-depth analysis filled game comment. That because I'm here with a football encyclopedia, so we cannot exhaust the comment section of the match because there's a lot to talk about. So Manchester United is leading at halftime. The second half is about to start. Sir, if I were ask you, sir, if you were the coach of Nottingham Forest, if you were in Steve Cooper's shoes,
Yes.
what would you tell the players coming out for this second half?
As it is, one of the qualities of a good coach is managing defeat or managing comeback. One of the qualities is managing your players even when you're behind. So we should have a situation, a pep talk, letting them realize that they have done this before.
And they can do it again.
And they can do it again. You have to show them the amount of chances they lost, the number of created chances, the ones they lost, the ones that were nearly goals. There was one by crossbar, De Gea saved one was so close, everybody had to go home. Okay, so those are the points where you show them, and look, you guys did this. You created more chances than United. You had more shots at goal than United in the first half. You can actually go ahead and win this game. All you need to do is to be more clinical in front of the post. And
yes, they have to be more clinical because obviously they want to come back into the game. Because if they don't score any goal here, they're as good as losing out 3 points and they will stay in the relegation zone. But if you are the Manchester United coach, Ten Hag, what would your halftime pep talk be like?
Ten Hag, for me, he will have to look at some of the bench he has. He will possibly have to start warming players off. His defense line, for me, is not good enough. I don't know who can come in for either Maguire or Lindelof or Dalot, but one of those three needs to create room for another person. They are not doing badly, but going forward is difficult for Casemiro and Eriksen because of that defense.
But don't you think game time, match playing form could have come into play while the defenders are jittery? Maybe you should give them time, just let them settle in.
To adjust into the game. Oh, but well, you have 45 minutes to adjust or not adjust, win the game or lose the game, or get a draw. So the kind of talk he's going to be talking now is, look, we're ahead by 1 goal. We have to keep this goal. And the defense had been shaky. So how do you keep a goal when the defense is shaky? So what it means is that players like Casemiro have to drop back.
Yes,
he can't advance so high. So that limits the amount of creativity up front. Because that leaves us with Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes.
He was even the guy that set the pass to Martial. that led to their
So
goal.
to the goal.
Yes.
So Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, and then you have to go through Sancho and the rest of them. Jordan, Sancho, and Martial, and Tony from the other side to support in the attack. But Casemiro won't be able to move because he has to cover for Maguire and Lindelof. So Dalot is also there, and he's not pulling his weight enough. If these guys, they've been coming a lot at the defense of Man U.
Yes.
They have thrown in about 4 to 6 crosses into that 18. They
On
have
this
played
ground,
about 3 or 4 corner
this
kicks.
is a difficult ground to come. Manchester City played a 1-1 draw here. Chelsea played a 1-1 draw. Liverpool lost 1-0 on this ground. So it's actually not an easy ground for big teams.
So
to come.
United needs to hear this before they come into the second half. Getting a goal difference after first half doesn't mean you have won the game.
Of course.
Against this
Football is a
team,
90 minutes
on this
game.
soil, Awoniyi can pull something out of the hat.
Yeah.
We expect it to happen. And then you have other great players there too. Don't
Yeah,
forget that.
but looking at it now, do you think the two coaches should keep the formation they started with?
Absolutely.
Their
I think
tactics
I
and
think
their
the tactics are the approaches.
Spot on.
They are actually matching the game because in a way they balance out. United is still getting what they want.
Yes.
They don't need all the chances. They just need some chances. And Nottingham is also getting what they want. They are containing the United players from playing in their final third. They are making sure that they don't demonstrate. Bruno doesn't have so much time to play. Eriksen doesn't have all the jiggy to move around. And Casemiro cannot come forward, which is working for them because they're actually putting pressure on United defense. So Casemiro must stay there. And Eriksen must watch his back. Wow. And we know he's not a very defensive player.
Yeah. And Eriksen playing at that role is playing deep in the midfield.
That's a handball. The referee waved play on.
In front of the referee.
The referee waved play on.
But VAR
And what will VAR say?
You know, VAR is just an assistant. If the referee says
And that's one of the issues we have with football. Because a clear handball like that shouldn't just be left.
You know, handball's rules has been adjusted lately.
Okay.
Because they look at the position of the arm. They analyze intention too. Because you can't cut your arm away from your body. So
Okay.
sometimes, when you're on motion, at times you can't do without moving the arm. So they consider a lot of things.
Oh, but I've seen
they
this
give
kind
it
of handball being penalized well.
That's why
The guy
they say-
controls the ball.
they say-
The ball rolls to his hand.
You know what
and it
they
drops.
do? What they do in football, that they hide it under. They say referee's discretion.
Look
So
at it.
once a year,
Look at it. Of course, it wasn't intentional, but it was a clear foul in the 18-yard. Take another look.
That is it.
And that hand changed the direction of the ball. The ball could have gone to the Nottingham player.
Yes.
Also, and that should be penalized because anything that deflects the ball from the direction it was originally going is a foul.
No, what mainly is, you know, the arm being in a natural position. You know, the arm was like this when the ball hit it.
No, it was this way.
Like, it was not over the shoulder.
No, it wasn't.
So that's one of the things they can't consider.
But what
there
I'm
are a lot of
saying
things
is
to consider.
that
But another referee
changed
might
the
give it.
direction of the ball.
Yes, of course it did.
So it
Very
is a
obvious.
foul. It should be
Very
taken
obvious.
as a foul.
Very obvious.
It's
But
a controversial officiating there.
how many times have referees in England not been controversial?
Exactly the
We've
point.
had a referee in England whistle at the World Cup and gave 3 yellow cards instead of 2 to give a red card. So
To the same player.
to the same players. So we've seen this happen over time. In the aspect of officiating, England has not been the first. That was a good chance. Oh my goodness, that was a good chance. Antonio at the edge of the ball, trying to make a snake bite. Oh my goodness, that was a good movement from Jadon Sancho. Set a pass by Bruno Fernandes and tried to cut in. These are the places they will be missing Rashford. Because Rashford would have gone near the post there. Where was Marshall? Positioning. So that ball now, if there was somebody there, it would have been a 2-0 because it was a clear cut chance.
It was an open net. It was a ball across an open net.
What would this do? Oh.
It was a ball across an open net. It would have been a good chance.
It's the 58th minute of the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. You know, I told you that it's going to be a wonderful show. Please just stay with us. You are going to be entertained. It's a promise. So, so far, Nottingham Forest has not been respecting Man U. You know, had they been there playing Man U with respect, they won't really attack the way they are attacking them. Like they are playing Manchester United as if they are just playing a Fulham team or maybe Brighton because of their form. Or what do you think?
I think they are trying to be protective. They are playing a defensive formation. They want to make sure they don't concede more goals. The less the number of goals you concede, the higher your chances of recovering. It's just one now. Yes. If they can get one, they have a draw. But if they should allow one in, they have an uphill task to climb. So the onus is on the players to ensure that they don't concede goals. And look at the arrangement. The coaching crew will have totally informed them to stay in that block. 8 people behind the ball at every point in time. The remaining 2 can wait for counters. And you can see that happening now. Oh, no!
Hey.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was an offside already.
Oh, no.
Even Atletico Madrid, 9th minute of the game, and they are leading 1-0.
Yes, we expect Atletico to win that game. Hands down, we don't expect any fight in that game. Almeria is a team that will likely return to where they came from. I don't know.
Relegation.
Yes, they just came back from relegation.
Oh, that's a good attack. Oh, the guy delayed.
Almeria just returned from the
second
division.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
That's a good header from Taiwo Awoniyi.
No, this guy is going to get a goal.
Placement
he should get a goal today. It was,
look at the
miss.
movement.
It was a...
it was disturbed by Maguire to require and acquire. And it's the 39th minute of the game between Sassuolo and Juventus, still 0-0. Union Berlin still playing 1-0 at the 49th minute of the game. And it's the 78th minute of the game between Monaco and Lorient. 3-0, Monaco is leading. And the 10th minute of the game between Atletico and Almeria, Atletico leading. And the 53rd minute of the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. And currently Manchester United is on the attack with Jadon Sancho.
That's right.
Set a pass to, that was a vital block.
That was a very vital block. What's Feyenoord doing? Feyenoord, we expect to win their game, really, today.
And they won.
They won the game.
They won as a 90 minutes before they were comfortably leading 3 goals to 0.
And they're going to lift the trophy.
Looking more like
They haven't lifted it for up to 10 seasons.
It's been a while. It's been a while they lifted it now.
And this season they are going all the way. They are not just winning the league. They are in the semi-finals of the Europa.
In the Europa, yes, Europa League.
They won the first leg against
Roma,
Rio, and they should be in Rome very soon.
They were lucky. Pellegrini lost a penalty.
Yeah, well, that's not luck. It happens in football. We lose penalties, we win penalties. It wasn't just Pellegrini that lost last week. Mo Salah also lost his penalty. So,
but you know, losing in a knockout competition, a cup competition, can be more telling than
you lose it. We know it's one of the chances. Either get it or lose it. That's penalty shots for you. It's a chance. It's not like a ticket for a goal. Yes. It's just a chance. It's just a chance to get a goal. So you don't get the chance. You don't take it. That's it. So
I don't know if you heard about the news that broke out this week about Hakimi. and the divorce saga. You know, we can have a full show on that story.
Oh, sure.
What do you think? What's your own point of view to the situation on ground?
Okay, so we digress a little bit from football.
It's still football.
And then we'll
because
talk.
it's a footballer. Made his money from football. Wow. And obviously, he's semi-finalist in the World Cup. They did us proud as Africans. They just concluded World Cup. So what do you think?
Well, for the situation, the news broke out that Hakimi is going through a divorce with his wife. That's Abuak. And the young lady wants her alimony or wants to divide Hakimi's property.
More than half.
Usually, it's she is going to request for certain items. The home, she will request for money, she will request for things they own together as couple. And the court may grant or may not grant all, but even if she gets half, it's definite she's going to be ripping the guy off a lot of money.
Yes.
However, they've been married for 4 years or so.
They are 3 years plus. Go! Oh!
Oh no!
That was a good shot from Bruno Fernandes.
That was a cracker. That was a cracker.
The shot went off the crossbar.
He actually cracked the crossbar.
Oh my
And
goodness.
there's a chance here.
Jadon Sancho, can he do it?
Oh, no.
He's finishing
Oh, no.
his left. You see, well, what did Anthony do there?
It was deflected. But that was a beautiful shot from Bruno. Beautiful.
And it seems
the keeper had a hand to
yes,
it. Keylor Navas had a hand to it.
Of course, if he didn't have an hand to it, it would be the second
a sweet goal. It was a hot shot.
You know, players like this, when you have them on the field.
Looking back at Hakimi's situation, conflicts, issues like that will happen when you have two people. In any situation, when you're dealing with people, you need to be prepared for conflict. And that's one of the reasons...
Oh, that's a shout for foul.
That's one of the reasons why the laws were made to protect women in weddings or in marriages, to ensure that they don't lose out on everything after having children, for you taking care of your children, enduring with you as a man, and then they get thrown out on the streets. So the court and the society is looking at the situation where the woman gets some level of security. Okay, we're not married any longer, but can I go with some stuff? Can I have a home on my head? Can I have some money to spend? We have children. Can I have money to take care of your children? And so on and so forth. Now, the news broke out and was stated that Hakimi moved all the property to his mother's account. Like
before the marriage, I think.
No, like he pays, the news that we heard is that he pays his money into his mother's account. Because the guy is paid every Monday, as we know they do in football. He's paid every Monday, he earns a lot of money. And what the allegation is saying, I don't think he earns up to €1 million.
He earns over €1 million.
How much does he earn per week?
250.
250
plus bonuses. No, 250. Then bonuses can add on, winning bonus.
So he ends up to €1 million
over a month.
Now, if he does that, the news going around is saying that he transfers the money to his mother's account. Do you get? Now, and they are saying that they checked his account and the court said Hakimi doesn't have any money in his account. To his name. Then he doesn't have money, so there's nothing to share. For me, that's an absolute fallacy. And it won't hold any ground in any court of law. Because the court can easily call for your statements and get to know how much you earn. It's very easy. We're not looking at where you are hiding your money now. If you like, go put it in Panama or Pandora. It doesn't matter. The court is going to look at your estimate, and for him, it's a public figure.
Yeah.
His figures are all over the internet. We know how much you earn. PSG can produce this with just a subpoena from the court. They can always get his earning, they can get his net worth, and that's what they will divide. It's not the amount in his account. Who cares about the amount in your account? They just write him and say, look, you have to pay half this.
The issue now is, according to the news we heard, when I went to do more digging,
okay,
it was like even all his assets is in his mother's name.
Okay.
And it seems that the way I saw it had started even before the marriage.
Now, what we're looking at here is this. Even if he moves his money into his mother's account, there is a track. You're receiving 300,000 euro and you're transferring 250,000 euro every week to your mother's account. No problem where you transfer the money. We're interested in what you earn, what you own. The property is in his mother's account, but they live in a particular home. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm
there. The law might be blind, but the court or the judge is not blind. The judge has a face. The judge has feelings. The judge has understanding and knowledge of situations. So that's why they ask the judge to temper justice with mercy sometimes. That look, don't look at only the letters of the law. Do it with emotion. Add some face to the judgment. So you live in a home. Who owns the home? Is in my mother's name. Who bought the home?
Rent an apartment.
Even if you're renting an apartment, there's no problem about that. How have you sustained a home? You earn so much money. You pay how much to sustain a home? Let's say you rent it per month or per annum. So now, from now going forward, you have to keep paying for that home. Whether you put the money in your mother's account is not nobody's problem. You have to house this woman. The reason is simple. She has 2 of your children.
The main reason for the housing mainly has to do with the kids. Because after the divorce, the woman moves on with her life.
No, it's not that simple. Even after the divorce.
Because we are just talking about a 3 years relationship. Because years too matter.
There is a certain law that protects the woman from outright loss. So if you actually signed the dotted lines in a particular state or country, you need to ask for the full extent of the law.
But sir, looking at it from another perspective, you know that kind of judgment would have been management's, not the mother. If it was true, it would have been a carefully thought out plan from his management.
For him to keep the money in his mother's account.
For every legal stuff, you know, as a footballer, you deal legally with your club. So almost every footballer, through agent or anything, they have legal representatives. So, and you can't see this kind of plan we are looking at, it can't come from just the mother. It's too deep of a plan to say just a woman will come on.
Let's not get over our heads on that news. That news for me is a social media news.
Yes.
And
we are just talking about this. We are not saying, we are trying to paint if it is true.
No, but
not that we are assuming that it is true.
I've read a lot of counter stories to it. So I want us to punctuate a little bit here. The news came out on the 14th. I mean, on the 15th, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it came out on the 15th. That's on this Thursday or Friday?
15th.
Today is 16. Saturday, 15.
I think it came out on
Friday.
Thursday. Was it Thursday? I think it's Thursday.
And the woman just filed on Friday.
Is it? Okay, Friday, yeah.
She just filed on Friday.
And the woman just filed on Friday.
So how would the judge say there is no money in his account? It's just a social media stunt as far as I'm concerned. The guy is going to lose money. He's going to part with money.
There's
a lot of money.
There's no way he was not going to lose money because he has 2 sons. But why people mainly talk, oh, that was a good chance.
Beautiful chance.
That Manchester United just got, it's an offside. It's an offside. It's like Manchester United wants to double their lead. They've been taking the game to...
That's exactly the point. They have to get
if
another
this
goal.
Would have
if United doesn't get a second goal, it's not secure. It will happen like Arsenal did or like Chelsea did.
It might.
No, but well, they have to get a second goal. And that gives you some comfort.
But if you look at the Hakimi story, why people are so you heard what happened to Emmanuel Bue.
Yes.
A lot of these football stars have gone down to this kind of issues.
Absolutely.
And realistically, many women, not confirmed yet, but many women, according to what people over there say, that many of them use it as a way to make money.
Absolutely.
So that is the emotional side, because I heard Emmanuel Bue is now dead.
No.
Because it seems
sorry,
he could not cope with
you can't avoid having circumspect situations or people with ulterior motives.
Of course.
People are desperate, and every human being is interested in, first of all, his own benefits. So even before she goes after him, she wants to marry him or she wants to date him, it has to be for her benefit. So she didn't come into the relationship because she loved Hakimi and she wants to worship Hakimi for life. No.
She
came with her own interest in mind.
Yes.
And if her interest is not going the way she wants, she moves on. Okay, this situation became this bad because there was scandal.
But
Hakimi,
he's not proved guilty.
Yes, but there's a scandal. There's a scandal.
But at this point of scandal, don't you think as a wife, at least first support until the court proves him guilty?
Yes, but that is what should be. But in reality, when the wife already has trust issues, what do you think she would do? You see, there's something about man and woman relationship. It's a very thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
The line is thinner than the thread of Indomie noodle, and is weaker than the noodle. Anything breaks it, just any small thing. And once it breaks, the person who was so loving, so caring, so affectionate, start shifting, turns immediately the opposite. And what you're going to get is hate. The direct opposite of love is hate. So that's what you get. So hatred develops and builds. Distrust comes into play. They said it. I said it. You've been keeping late night. What were you doing in that place? Now, this allegation of rape, let's look at it from you and I. Happened in his home while the wife and children are on vacation. So he imported her to his house and possibly had sexual relationship, which we can't define. And then this one is saying, no, it was not mutual. I was raped. That's the only controversy here. Hakimi is not denying that he had sexual relationship. He's saying it was not rape. Do you understand the situation clearer now?
I understand.
So, imported a girl or a woman, had sexual relationship
with her,
and then the woman admitted they had sexual relationship, but she was not in agreement with it. After so many persuasions and so many exploitations, possibly, she settled out of court and removed all the charges. All right? Because they actually stopped the process. Yeah, because she possibly wanted to do it for money. And she got what she wanted and possibly quit. But the fact that you brought somebody here to the house and had sexual relationship, whether it was rape or consensual, makes it even absolutely no meaning to the wife. Do you understand? So she is actually challenging him because of that act, not because of the allegation.
The allegation,
exactly.
the act of cheating.
So because of that, she said she couldn't trust him anymore. She had to move on.
Well, matters of love, we can't separate it from football. Because if you see a player, like I think towards the end of last season, Thomas Tuchel went through a divorce, and we saw then that Chelsea was really having a hard time. So it is not that easy
Now, we look at
to
Hakimi.
separate relationship.
We look at Hakimi on the
football.
field yesterday playing for PSG. And you see a guy trying to put his best into the team. But this is a guy going through a divorce process, and a messy one at that. And his news is all over the place.
Yes.
Even if he moved all his money from his accounts and all his property to his mother's name, he still will not stop the court from taking them for the wife.
What I'm saying is, even with the fact that let's just paint a scenario that, what if it has been done before the marriage?
It doesn't matter.
Would they say?
It doesn't matter, because what we're looking at is the welfare of your wife and your children.
Okay, are you speaking from your opinion side of you or from the law?
From my experience
From your experience?
and observations of the law.
Okay.
I have seen marriages being dissolved. I have read and have followed certain court proceedings, and the judge will speak from that standpoint. Look, what the money, in fact, he's not just going to give her money. He's still going to be paying from his salary.
Yes, he's going to be paying child
Do
support.
you understand? Not just child support. He has to pay for her to be sane to manage the children. Do you understand how it
Yes,
works?
yeah.
So you're not just going to pay their school fees, I'm going to pay for their clothing and that's all. No. I have to be okay to manage your children.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, look, so certain conditions will be there. Okay, if you get married, maybe this will stop. But if you don't get married, it might continue. So she might date somebody and be a girlfriend in somebody else's house and not married. Everybody can interpret the law. They all have lawyers, just like you said.
Of course.
The
And
girl,
she's a celebrity.
She's a celebrity. She has her legal advisors. He's a celebrity. He has his legal advisors. Everybody has their own. So that case is going to linger for a while.
Let's just see how it ends. It's still in court. And every opinion we said about is not a reflection of what we are here at Premier Sports Center. We just have our own opinion on issues.
Absolutely
and we
personal.
leave it to the court to decide who is right or who was wrong, who will have to make way with this or that. We just have our views here just to talk, comment on the issues, and just we let it go. It is not a representation of the show. We just hear, we have to come here and make comment. Oh, that's a very big... Oh, can you... Oh! That was a good chance from Nottingham Forest. And a quick reminder, we are here for football. But sometimes, you cannot separate some issues from football because it's a real-life situation. And in real-life situation, things happen. And when things break out like that, we just have to comment on it and move on. We wish Hakimi all the best. We wish his wife too all the best. And we wish his two sons too all the best. All the best in their future endeavor. And for me, I can only hope maybe they can just settle their differences and think about those two children and maybe settle and just be the best father and best mother those two sons can have, and I can take care of them and give them a better future that we all hope they have. And it's the 74th minute of the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. And Manchester United is still leading a goal to nil. A quick one, Union Berlin is now red-carded and they are currently playing 1-1 against Bochum. And Sassuolo and Juventus is currently 0-0. The second half just started. And Atletico Madrid is still leading a goal to nil at the 31st minute of the game. The Dogs are, so far, looking at...
Oh no! That should have been the second goal.
Looking at Man U's performance this second half, would you say you are impressed so far with what you have seen?
Well, you know what I said during the halftime? Man U is going to come and protect their goal. That's what they were trying to do. Protect that goal. And if possible, add another one. They've been coming forward a lot, trying to get a second goal, which should be like a security. But Keylor Navas has denied them 2 great times. That was a beautiful chance. Neat cross from Antonio that any United fan could have tapped in, but player could have tapped in, but none of them was there at the time. They've all gone forward. About 5 players in the 18-yard, and nobody could tap that in. And that was so lucky for Nottingham Forest. However, United has been knocking on the door, and so has Nottingham Forest. Both teams have been knocking. This game is pretty tight, and it's from post to post. Both sides are pushing their weights. They're trying to get the goals. And you can't actually close your eyes for 1 minute in this game. Otherwise, something might happen.
You know, that's all we get from Premier League.
Absolutely.
You see the smaller teams, they match up with the so-called bigger teams, and they produce excellent performance. Oh, let's just let's really a quick start before we talk about the matches that happened yesterday. Manchester United has made a substitution. Marshall has been withdrawn for Weghorst. And Nottingham Forest, at the 65th minute of the game, made a double substitution. Withdrew Awoniyi for Surridge and Fuela for Mangala. Do you think that
I think Nottingham Forest made a big mistake. Awoniyi is a threat that has been pressurizing. He's been pressurizing the defense of United. You can't take that kind of player out when you are 1 goal down.
Oh!
You don't do that. This is what you get when you take Awoniyi out.
Oh my goodness! Manchester United just made it 2.
Yes, that's a big man.
They just made it 2. Anthony, the goal scorer, the first goal scorer, turned provider for the second goal.
Absolutely.
That was a beautiful movement for Anthony.
And the same Dalot that
has been shaky in this game so far. That was a beautiful finish.
Nobody was a beautiful finish, and that's what I just said. You don't take out your best legs in front. The moment you do that,
the best form of attack is defense. The best form of defense
is attack. You keep that guy in there. You bring in another striker with him.
You have to balance the two.
The top coaches don't do that. You don't take Awoniyi out when he's pressuring the defense. He's supporting the defense. He's attacking them. He's been doing a lot of work in the final.
Look at the way Antonio cut in and set that.
It was a beautiful pass, and the defense was caught napping.
You know, Antonio is beginning to justify the amount Manchester
But more importantly for me, it was the finish. Dalot did wonderfully well at the finish. Because Navas could have stopped it.
He was patient, and he took the right corner.
Yeah.
And Navas is now an easy goalkeeper.
From here, United can start coasting. They can start adding the points.
Oh my God!
Because I don't see Nottingham coming back from this point to get a draw.
Indeed.
The best they can do is get a goal, a consolation goal. And but should they get a second goal?
The way it looks, Man U can get more goals. It looks more like Man U can score more goals in this game. You know, the more Manchester United score in this game, the more it will help them. You know, there is a wide margin goal difference between Manchester United and Newcastle. So if Manchester United can score more goals in this game, you know, there's a -3 for Newcastle yesterday. And if Manchester gets more addition here, for now, if it stays with 2 goals, it will be like
-5 or +5 for United, -5 for Newcastle.
-5 for Newcastle. So the more they score here, the better it is for them.
Absolutely.
And there's a substitution at the 79th minute of the game. Eriksen being withdrawn for Fred. That's understandable, knowing that both Marshall and Eriksen just came back from injury. I guess the coach is resting Sabitzer for the return leg of the Europa League. The guy scored 2 goals, and it didn't matter because the coach made mistakes of removing the key guys before the game came to an end. And Maguire now produced a very wonderful assist.
Beautiful one.
A goal. No, he scored the goal.
Beautiful goal. Beautiful one.
That was a beautiful
It was assisted by the opponent.
And let's talk about what happened yesterday. You know, the Premier League is beginning to take shape. we are beginning to separate the boys from the men. Looking at the game between Aston Villa and Newcastle, what do you think happened in that game that made Newcastle, that people have been saying, oh, one of the revelation of the season, if not the revelation of the season, to collapse like that, like a pack of cards?
Well, I'm not going to say more than this. Even at war, the strongest armies fail. In situations like this, Newcastle is an up-and-coming team. They are trying to find their rhythm.
And a quick one, it seems Almeria just equalized Atletico Madrid. So it's now 1-1 at the 38th minute of the game. You can continue, sir.
So I think for Newcastle, they are yet to find their proper footing. They are trying to come up. They are trying to be among the big boys. But to be among the big boys, consistency is key. Even the big boys, however, still lose to small teams.
Yes.
Last season, we saw United losing to Brentford.
The coach just introduced Emmanuel Dennis, the Nigerian forward.
Why didn't he play Dennis, play Awoniyi, and bring in another striker? Turn the situation to 4-4-2 instead of the formation of 3-4-1-2. He could make it 4-4-2, play two strikers, and let this midfielders make them stronger.
These coaches, they don't see what we see.
No, but the guy is watching the football, and Awoniyi was doing the work for him. I saw that guy scoring a goal. He's made several attempts.
That takes me to the Chelsea game. The same way Enzo was playing very well, and the coach substituted him. And what is your own take on the Chelsea-Brighton game yesterday?
Chelsea, we know, will definitely try and win. They will play. They will roll the ball. They will make attempts.
In fact, ball possession, Brighton took it.
But Chelsea will try and get at the post and try to create chances. Unfortunately, they were playing against a team that is so compatible. Even from their days of championship, Brighton and Hove Albion were very good. This is their second season in the Premiership.
Not just second.
No,
they've been around for years. It was Harry Potter. Sorry, Graham Potter.
Well, we call him Harry.
Sorry, I apologize for that. 3 seasons. It can't be more than 3 seasons. Graham Potter has been there over 3 seasons. They were about going on relegation. He just came in and changed the fortune of the club. And since then, they've been playing attacking football. So I thought that was what they saw.
You see, apart from the attacking football, because I've been following them from their championship days, they have been consistent. They are confident on the ball. They don't just kick balls. And remember, they've actually upgraded. They brought in new players who beefed up the team.
Yes.
And they're still maintaining the team philosophy.
And they've sold too.
They're maintaining their team philosophy.
They sold Cucurella. They've made some sales too.
Cucurella was not really their player.
It was their left player,
and was loaned to Brighton and Hove. I think they bought him after the second season, and then they sold him out to Chelsea. Barca is still collecting money from his sales anyway. Cucurella is still making money for beautiful kick, just a little off the target. So Chelsea is, like somebody said this morning.
That was a beautiful free kick.
A Chelsea fan says, beat one, get one free. So they lose one, and they give you the next match free. That's how Chelsea has been running. So they can score the first goal. They scored the first goal.
They were just lucky to score that.
It looked to me like, they scored the first goal. Maybe they can just put more pressure, get another
What
goal.
do you think is the problem of Chelsea?
I think their problem is composite right now. The man running the club is not doing the right things. You can't get results if you don't do the right things. Certain things are fundamental. Number one is the coaching crew. The coaching crew. Number two is the officiating crew. The management crew. Cool. It looks to me like Todd Boehly is running the game by himself. Relieved all the doctors, physiotherapists, all the coaching crew that were supporting Tuchel were all relieved. And then they brought him a Potter. From where? No, you're looking at Chelsea trying to come up, and you're bringing in Potter. From Potter, will that guy be able to take Chelsea to where you want him to be? Chelsea wants to be in top 4. And then you want him to come and do what? And then he was there, losing, and yet you didn't make any move. And you sold Tuchel. So there are certain issues that the management need to resolve that Todd Boehly and the owners of Chelsea haven't resolved. The coaching is important, and the management, the sporting director, is key. It looks to me like it's the same person that's been buying players.
If we don't have a sport director...
And so if you don't have a sport director, there are so many fundamental issues that you lack. If you lack fundamental issues, your house will collapse. We had an 8-story building collapse in Ikoyi a few days ago.
Yes.
Because there were certain fundamental problems. Stories had it that a trailer ran from below, broke the foundation, broke the pillar in the ground floor or something. Other stories have it like that was a horse, that it was just an unstructured building. So if the ground base is not well done, you can't build on it. Nothing will be solid.
Yeah.
So even if they win 1 or 2 matches, like run a streak of 3 or 4, they are still going to crash.
What I just feel is, when he came, he's a fan of Chelsea. And I don't think he became a fan because Chelsea were performing like the way they are performing now. Every club has a structure. Every club has a way they do things.
Absolutely.
And when
it is called philosophy.
Do your things that certain way, you will get the result the others got. Oh, that was a good attempt from Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has really improved. This is getting to that Sancho we used to know at Borussia Dortmund. So when you do your pattern, when you pattern your game according to the way it was done that was successful. For instance, there's a way Bayern do it. Oh, Atletico just took the lead, 44th minute of the game, 2-1.
Okay.
Bayern, there's a way they run it. Look at when Madrid was going down. They had to bring back Florentino Perez. The Galactico continued. And when they started the Galactico, by we brought Cristiano Ronaldo, later brought Bale. And look at what they achieved in how many years. So there are ways clubs are patterned. Yeah, you said you changed a lot of things about Chelsea. And Chelsea is going down the drain. Chelsea is in 11th.
No, that's exactly what we're saying. There are too many fundamental issues not resolved. He doesn't have a sporting director. He saddled with the responsibility.
And there was a time Chelsea, on a serious note, Chelsea didn't have a sport director, and we were doing well.
Oh, well, what was Emenalo's role?
You know, there was a time Emenalo was out of the job.
Okay. But even then, if you don't
having a sport director that I'm talking about was years ago. But we were still doing well.
Even at that, Ibrahimovic was working with the coach. And I think that time was Mourinho's period. Because I know Emenalo was, you can't be the team owner, and be responsible for who plays or who you are buying. You can suggest who you want to see. Yes. But it should be the honors of the coaching team. The coaching team, which includes part of the sporting director, who is going to have to work with the scouts, look at their reports, check out these players, and find out if this player fits into the mentality of your team philosophy. The club philosophy matters more than any player. For example, there are some players that will never play for Barcelona.
Not because they are not good.
Not because they are not the best, but because the management and the sporting crew, the sporting directorate just agrees that they don't fit into the philosophy. Some were even bought wrongly. They don't spend more than one season. I don't want to mention names. They don't spend more than one season. Bought wrongly, and they just discover that, look, this guy is going to kill the morale destroy the philosophy of this team, and they push him out immediately. 1 season. So, here, what is the philosophy you're running with? You're just coming in and you are laying off all the staff that are key
to positions.
You can't lay off all key staff even if you have a hostile takeover of a company. There are some key staff you should retain until you put in succession plans. Succession plans. You introduce people to understudy them, learn the philosophy, and then gradually win them out. So you don't just sack, and then you sit on the top table. You're not even a footballer. You're not a coach. You're not a technical coach. You just watch football and you're just a rich American boy or something.
He's just thinking, in America, they don't go on relegation. If Chelsea goes near relegation, and it sees 600 million more pounds or euros going down to the championship, and FFP coming with the hammer, maybe you will understand. But away from Chelsea, Chelsea's topic is a book of lamentation, not the one in the Bible.
It's a whole book of football lamentation. And like I told people yesterday, please hug a Chelsea fan. Whenever you see one,
Chelsea
even if
fans,
they are owing you money, hug a Chelsea fan.
Chelsea fans, any Chelsea fan that needs a hug at this point of the season with what we have seen is not a realistic fan. No, I can't say any Chelsea fan expected us to win yesterday or even on Wednesday. You have to face the reality. This team is lacking confidence. They don't have a tactician, and they are new guys playing with each other. It's just like headache upon headache upon headache. You understand what I'm saying?
You know why?
Make up your mind and just overlook it all.
You know why I actually suggested that? However bad your team is, there's an adage where I come from. However bad your child is, you still praise him and you don't actually throw him out to the dogs. Do you get? You don't do that. You don't dispose your child. You still have to manage him. You still want him to do well. And that's what Chelsea fans are doing. They still go to watch these matches. They still fill the stadium. Stamford Bridge was still filled up yesterday.
They buy tickets before the season starts.
Even as, of course, you can buy the ticket if you don't want to watch.
Even when Arsenal was doing worse, that they were protesting against the owners, they were still going to watch matches.
I know, but that's because you want to see your team play. That's because you still have a hope that we can still muzzle a draw, or maybe we may even win and leave home, and be happy. The fans are still suffering. I had encounters with some of my friends yesterday who were Chelsea fans. And when they went up by 1 goal, I chatted with some and I was like, you guys are leading, but don't go to bed or don't close one eye. Anything can happen. And before the end of first half, we got the draw.
Sassuolo just scored against Juventus.
And so Sassuolo takes the lead now.
Yes, 65th minute
against Juve.
And 89th minute, Union Berlin still 1-1 with a red card. Atletico Madrid are merry half-time, 2-1. And Manchester United is in the 93rd minute of the 4-minute additional time.
And one of their best
players
leading
2-0
has just been booked.
Yeah, Weghorst is a substitute.
He has just been booked, given a yellow card. However, if well reviewed of VAR, this guy can be sanctioned for that. Because it was a direct hit on the player. It was his hand extended on the other player's chest, which could have earned him more than just a yellow card.
Maybe a red card. Maybe they will check it. We don't know. Maybe they will review it and see if they need to do another scolding. But it's the 94th minute of the game between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. And trust me, Manchester United has been very fantastic today. They had the ball possession. They've dominated the play. They've been really, really good today. You have to give it to them. Honestly, you have to give it to them. They really came out to play. This is how you react.
Even Mr. Maguire
drop 2 goals.
Mr. Maguire is playing well.
He's playing well. Now you see he stepped up. I was talking about game time. When he sweats and gets into the game. And the game just came to an end. And
Congrats
as
to Man United.
Manchester United won the game 2-0. Wow, we have had a wonderful time. I hope you did. A quick reload of the statistics. Expected goal ratio for Nottingham Forest was 0.75, while for Manchester United was 4.11. Wow. And ball possession was 31% for Nottingham Forest and 69% for Man U. Goal attempt, 6 for Nottingham Forest, 22 for Manchester United. Shot on goal, 0 for Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest didn't have any shot on goal. Man U had 8.
Shot on goal?
Shot on goal. They didn't have any.
No, I missed.
Shot off target, 4 for Nottingham Forest, 9 for Man U. Wow, free kicks, 12 for Nottingham Forest, 7 for Man U. Corner kicks, 4 for Nottingham Forest, 9 for Man U. This is how you respond when you lose your lead scandalously to Sevilla. Or what do you think, Doctor?
Well, the United players have given a good account of themselves today. They have shown the quality they have. And I said it from the start that even with the guys not on the field, the injured people, United was still going to show their accounts. And they actually proved that they can still win without Rashford and the defenders that are out. They have proven that the quality is not just in those players, but in the team. So even with the likes of Dalot coming in, Lindelof coming to play, and Maguire leading the defense, they still got,
and they have a clean sheet.
They still got a 2-goal advantage, and they got all the 3 points. And there was
clean sheet.
Technically no shot at goal, but we know the game was not representative of what we see in the statistics. Yeah. There could have been 2 penalty kicks or shots against Man United. You know, if those have been blown by the referee.
Looking at the attackers, the Man U had 87 dangerous attack compared to Nottingham Forest, which was 33. Looking at that, what would you score the Manchester United attackers?
I think they did very well. Jadon Sancho, Martial, and Anthony were on fire. I'm going to rate Anthony 8 today. I'll possibly rate Martial 6, 8 over 10. I rate Martial 6, and then Jadon will be like 6.5 or 6.5, yes. But Anthony is the man to actually beat today. Maybe 8 or 8.5.
Who will you say is the man of the match?
I'm going to give it to Anthony.
Oh, so
and then Bruno should get 7, really.
Anthony is our man of the match.
Anthony should be our man of the match.
It's been a wonderful show today. We have had... So we'll be back on Tuesday for the Champions League.
Right.
And Wednesday too. Then Europa League on Thursday. I want you to predict the 4 teams that I think will progress in the UEFA Champions League.
Unfortunately, I'm going to say Real Madrid first.
Why unfortunately?
It is unfortunate because I'm a Barca fan.
Okay.
And
it's quiet.
Whenever they're happy, we're sad.
Oh.
As it suits them, it pains us.
Oh.
Last weekend, or yesterday, Courtois made a statement. And they told him, they just reminded him that Barca is still 10 points ahead of you guys. And should they win tomorrow, they're going 13 points ahead of Real Madrid. And guess what he said? But Courtois said, well, those guys, Barca and Atletico, only play on Saturdays. We play midweek. We play Champions League and we play in Copa del Rey final. They are not playing them.
Shut up, good.
Can you imagine? So that's how bad we wish them, that they don't progress. Unfortunately, they are going to be playing a very chicken Chelsea, which they have already got an advantage ahead of.
If not for the UK government, Chelsea won't be going
They will likely consolidate on that advantage. So Real Madrid, for one, should make it into the semi-finals. The next one should be Man City. Man City, somehow managed to get that advantage. It is a beautiful advantage, especially with you still having your Haaland and having your full complement of strikers. It's a very great advantage.
Haaland is the highest scorer in the Champions League and the league.
Yes, Haaland is the
He
guy
has
to
scored
beat
47
now.
goals so far.
Altogether, he's the guy to beat
And
now.
he's still in
He's
projection.
20
He will still
he's
play.
21 now. 22, I
He's
think.
22.
22, right. So Haaland is a man to beat right now.
And they
Haaland
keep withdrawing him half time.
No, but that's
if
what.
he's playing full matches.
Look, Pep Guardiola is a very smart coach. I told you. This guy makes his players play. Even the second team plays. So Haaland gets 2 goals. Even if he got those 2 goals at 45th minute, by 50 minutes he's taking him out. He's not waiting for Haaland to score the 3rd goal, get a hat-trick or get a double brace so that you will now injure him. He will be gone for 2 months. No. He just wants Haaland to get those 2 secure goals. Secure the 2 goals. You're leading by 2-3, out. Alvarez, get in. Go and do it. Go and risk your life for another 40 minutes or 30 minutes. Haaland on the bench. And that's the way to keep your players fresh.
Managing team.
That is team management. Yeah. You know, so Guardiola does that. And Haaland has been yielding for him.
Then the 2 a bit difficult to predict fixture. Who do you see going through between Benfica, Inter, and AC Milan, Napoli?
Napoli had a short fall last week.
Yes.
They lost 1-0, 0-1 to AC Milan.
AC Milan.
However, I'm going to say that was fully due to Osimhen's absence.
And he'll be back. He played the key role. He played the role yesterday, not just.
And he didn't score, but the manager
he
draw.
He hit the crossbar.
The manager draw. But he should be back for Milan. Yeah. And they know themselves well. They are both Italian teams.
Yeah.
They have played together well. I see Napoli coming back to win that tie. They're going to win the second leg and win that tie.
What about Inter Benfica?
Inter Benfica, as it stands, I think Benfica has the advantage, isn't it? Benfica.
No. Inter has the advantage.
1-0, go?
2-0.
Oh, okay.
From first leg, away from home, and they are playing at home now.
So let's leave it for Inter. I think I'm going to put my money on Inter. I don't see Benfica coming
back to
San Siro and then getting all the 3 goals against Inter with all the Azzurri fans. It's not going to happen.
Anything can happen.
It's not going to happen.
But we
not
leave
at
that
home.
question till Tuesday and Wednesday, so that when we come live, we dish it out to the fans as it is hot.
I look forward to it.
Oh, we can't wait for us to get another slice of football. Football is one game that brings us all together. It makes us happy. Sometimes you get emotional. Sometimes you might be teary sometimes because it's a game that brings out the passion in us. We love this game. We always want to keep watching, keep enjoying. Even though our club is losing, sometimes winning. In football, as it depends some, you got the sweet some. And as it is sweet some, you got the pain some. Whichever way you are on, just know that no side lasts forever. As it is sweet you today, one day it go pay you tomorrow. If it pay you tomorrow, if it pay you today, know that tomorrow can be all right. But, today, so far, it will be Arsenal fans that is paying. It go pain them, enter bone. But for the Manchester United faithful, it go dey sweet them. Because how much more can you expect than from a team that lost 2-0 lead scandalously on Thursday to come back all guns blazing, dominating possession, creating chances, and winning 2-0 with a clean sheet. And even with the fact that they lost their regular 2 center-backs to injury this week. Oh, we have enjoyed this weekend. Thanks for staying with us. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media platform, which has been rolling on the screen, both on Instagram and on Facebook. We are here to keep you company. We are going to be here for a long time. We don't know if we will live forever, but we are going to be here. If we are not going anywhere, we are here to stay. We are here to dish it out to you as it dey hot. I hope you have subscribed. And tell somebody to tell somebody, and tell another person to tell another person. You can tell your church members, your members in the mosque, or your members in your society, or your area, your CDA. Tell them about Premier Sports Fan Center, because we are here to give you entertainment and education about the beautiful game. Sometimes we digress and talk about some personal stuff too, or we are just here to entertain you and let you enjoy the game. And here we decided that Anthony is our man of the match, for the Premier Sports Fan Center man of the match today.
Anthony for
and
the man of the
it's
match.
a beautiful day of football. We have enjoyed it. I hope you have. Please stay with us for Tuesday games and Wednesday and Thursday games, the Champions League games and the Europa League games. It is at the defining moment, a curious moment of the Champions League this season. And this kind of moment are moments that makes history. History are made at this point of the Champions League. I don't think you want to miss it. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be awesome. So, just as the day comes, please bear it in mind. Join us live, and God bless you. So, have a wonderful weekend. Don't let this weekend weaken you. Resume tomorrow at work, and we'll see you on Tuesday. God bless you, and have a wonderful week.
Or not. Once I just go to my this account. Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about your starting 11. Now we have 2 starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's all about 2. Let my 2 and 3 they come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next season.